So today we'll be discussing a heartbreaking and tragic event involving a 14-year-old boy who took the lives of students and teachers in a school shooting. This is a deeply painful topic, and before we begin, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to the victims, their families, and everyone affected by this unimaginable event. Please know that this video is not about placing blame, but about understanding what we as a society can do to prevent similar tragedies in the future. To give some context to this tragedy, reports indicate that a 14-year-old boy, after being gifted a rifle by his father, committed an act of violence at his school. Tragically, 2 teachers and several students lost their lives in this senseless act. Authorities have since charged the boy's father, holding him accountable for his role in providing access to the firearm. It's important that we look at this situation not just from the lens of what happened, but why it happened. In today's video, we explore issues like responsible gun ownership, the mental health of adolescents, and the importance of community awareness and prevention. The role of parenting and access to firearms. So one of the most pressing questions after incidents like this is how the shooter had access to a firearm. In this case, it appears the father legally gifted his son the rifle. But we must ask whether this was done with adequate caution. Gun ownership carries an enormous responsibility, and that responsibility is even greater when minors are involved. Providing a young person with access to a weapon must come with rigorous safeguards, proper training, secure storage, and an understanding of the risk involved. It's critical for all of us to examine how gun safety can be reinforced in homes and what role parents and guardians play in ensuring those firearms are never misused. Another crucial aspect of this discussion is the mental and emotional well-being of the children involved. Adolescence is a difficult time, and many young people experience emotional turmoil, feelings of isolation or anger. It is essential that parents, teachers, and the community are equipped to recognize warning signs early, whether it be changes in behavior, expressions of violence, or withdrawal. Mental health services need to be easily accessible, especially in schools where intervention could potentially prevent a tragedy like this. We must remove the stigma around asking for help and ensure that those who need support, particularly young people, receive it. So in the aftermath of this tragedy, the boy's father has been charged for his role in providing the firearm. This highlights an important point about accountability. While the 14-year-old is responsible for his actions, we must also consider the role that adults play in enabling access to dangerous weapons. Laws surrounding gun ownership exist to prevent incidents like these, but they rely on responsible action from gun owners. Holding parents or guardians accountable when firearms fall into the wrong hands is a necessary step in making sure these tragedies don't happen again. The most important conversation we can have in the wake of this event is how we prevent it from happening again. This means stronger safety measures around firearms, better mental health support for adolescents, and more community engagement in recognizing and addressing potential warning signs. There is no simple solution to preventing tragedies like this, but through thoughtful policy reform such as safe gun storage laws, background checks, and increasing mental health resources, we can reduce the likelihood of future incidences. Schools, parents, and lawmakers all have a part to play. So, as we wrap up, I want to once again express my deepest condolences to the victims and their families. This is a devastating event, and our hearts go out to everyone affected. The purpose of this discussion is to raise awareness about how important it is for communities to come together and to address gun safety, mental health, and preventative measures. We must do everything we can to ensure that our children and the schools as safe environments. If you or someone you know is struggling, I encourage you to reach out for help. Mental health resources are available, and it's vital that we support each other. Thank you for watching, and let's continue to have these important conversations to create a safer future for all.